Viral video of feminist pouring bleach on manspreaders debunked as Russian propaganda.
Here's a summary of the article.
The video, which shows activist Anna Dovgalyuk squirting what she claims is diluted bleach onto the crotches of men who spread their legs on public transit, appears to be Russian anti-feminist propaganda. EU versus Disinformation, a site that debunks pro-Kremlin disinformation, reported that the video was originally published by In the Now, an English-language social media channel owned by the Kremlin-funded Russia Today. One of the men who appeared in the video also told St. Petersburg-based online magazine Bumaga that it was staged, and the victims were paid actors. Before people figured out it was a fake video, it received quite substantial coverage in terms of Western media. Search results for Russian manspreading video still bring up several videos from individuals and media outlets treating the story as if it were accurate. Anna Dovgalyuk is known for making popular videos about feminist issues in Russia. There's an online magazine in St. Petersburg called Bumaga, and they've posted some interviews with one of the men who appeared in the video who said that he was actually paid.
This post received a score of 60,696, with an upvote ratio of 81%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
It did look really fake when it came out. You don't take perfectly blocked and lit photos of very recent crime sprees. Those images looked like they came from a company that makes either really specific stock photos or really specific porn.
Greater than really specific stock photos or really specific porn. Huh, look at this guy. I bet he needs to turn off safe search to beat the meat.
Wait, you mean people browse with that on?
A classmate in 8th grade got made fun of when we were talking about porn in the hallway, and he said that he can't find any porn in YouTube. The poor twat had never heard of Pornhub or RedTube before that day.
Wasn't even a thing when I was in 8th grade, sad face.
Gee whiz, can't wait for 8th grade.
Ooh la lolly. I finally get to see Lord of the Rings.
I heard this was propaganda the day it happened. I'm glad that ended up being true.
Seemed faked considering no one got more physical.
Quote, Russia end quote. Quote, pouring bleach on men on public transport end quote. Quote, woman walks away safely end quote. It was obvious from the first picture.
I asked a Russian friend about it. Her response was she might believe it if it was 1 to 2 people, but after that it was obvious bullshit and someone would have beat the hell out of her. It's one of the very few cases when I would call it acceptable, though.
The generation that told us not to believe everything we see on the internet will believe anything they see on the internet.
The generations that told us not to talk to strangers now share all kinds of info in FB and internet.
That's not true. They've lived longer and must know more by default. How do you turn the caps off? PS Your Aunt Mary is in the hospital. The doctors aren't sure how much longer she has. You need to visit her before she dies. Loves and kisses.
Scripted Russian GIFs.
Technically still are scripted ASEAN GIFs.
Scripted Eurasian GIFs.
I'm not Asian, you're Asian.
Just one of the ways that Russia is creating conflict in our society by exploiting social issues. Judging by the reactions to the original video, both on Reddit and elsewhere, it's working.
More people will continue to believe it was true, never bothering to follow up. On that point, I'm not gonna sit here with a straight face and say I have never fallen for fake news. Couldn't find a good source with original reporting. It worked in 2016 and has continued to work since then, unfortunately.
Greater than, but again, the damage is done. Absolutely. And it must be said, while Russia is to blame for exploiting our society is to blame for gleefully enabling that exploitation.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.